Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Joel CP back here again with another video, and today I'll be breaking down zone coverage, which is part 3 of my Adjust Like a Pro mini series in the overall series of Learn from a Pro. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to check out the comment section. Check out the other videos that I haven't before, man. Drop stuff that you guys want to see. Make sure to subscribe and like as well. And also check out my Twitter if you guys haven't already, and my Twitch. I'll leave all that stuff in the description down below. Now, just to go ahead and straight into the video, because it's probably going to be a long video, and I definitely recommend certain pauses. I may even do timestamps this time to tell you guys, just depending on how I break down cloud flats compared to hard flats, or when I break down certain middle zones, or when I break down deep zones as well. You know, because I know you guys are going to definitely be a little confused. You guys are going to go back a couple of times to just see what zones do stuff versus what. So I'm going to go ahead and definitely have the timestamps down below. So, for example, just to start off, when you go into a play, the first thing I would say, especially if you're labbing a certain defense that you guys have never ran before, I would go ahead and just look at those two outside corners and see what different color that they have. So as you guys can see, this has kind of like a light blue. So I know those are soft squats. Those hard flats kind of have like a darker blue, which I kind of know is a hard flat. You know what I mean? Just because I know from playing the game for a while, lighter blue is a soft squat, darker blue is a hard flat, and then the darkest blue out of all of them is a cloud flat. So you guys can see in the cover 6 show forward to the right side of the field, that right cornerback in that flat is going to be in kind of a darker, which means he's going to be in a cloud flat. As you guys can see, the two outside guys in cover 2 sink are kind of in a lighter, which means that they're going to be in a soft squat, and another kind of dark bright, it's like a bright blue but it's dark, which is going to be that cover 2 hard flat. Now, hard flat, for example, is going to be, it's just going to jump the flats. I mean, it does exactly what the zone says it's going to do. It's going to go ahead and play the flats hard. So anytime someone hikes the ball and there's a flat route, you know, in the field or on the field, or there's some type of route that's going to the flat, like maybe a zig or even a drag that's coming last moment, that hard flat is going to drop down to that immediately, which means no matter what, the first priority is that flat. Now, if you turn into a cloud flat, basically it's going to do the same thing. It's going to play the flat kind of soft like a cloud, of course. So it's going to watch that flat, but it's not going to play it, but it's going to stay in that vicinity. Now, if there's a corner route that's going to be trying to get open, then the cloud flat is going to go ahead and watch that as well. And that's what I like about cloud flats, is because it can also play the hard flat and come down and make the tackle, but it'll also play the corner route as well. And if you're sending pressure, it's kind of confusing for an opponent. Now, soft squat is going to watch kind of everything. It's going to watch it's the most unpredictable. So if you guys have it on the field, I really wouldn't use it unless it's kind of like a fourth down and you want to throw your opponent off. But soft squats are going to play everything. They man up to the inside when they're inside routes like drags and posts. They watch the hard flat as well, and sometimes they also watch the cloud flat, just depending on what routes are thrown on that side of the field. Now, personally, do I know how to do them? No, and I usually don't use them. My favorite in the game is going to be cloud flats. I use them 95% of the time. I usually use hard flats on like third and fourth down only. But like I said, cloud flats are just the best in my opinion. Now, the way I set up my cloud flats is the first thing I go ahead and do is I come out, and like you guys already know my setup from the DB Fire stuff. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and check that video out. But I'm going to try and go right stick up to shade over top. If it's like a third down and 2 and you don't want that guy to throw a cloud, you know, if you don't want to throw a hard flat or even look at the flats whatsoever, then to come out and cloud flat, but tell the flats priority to basically tell the zone's priority to watch the flats first, even if it is a cloud flat, and it's still gonna have the look of a cloud flat, which means that they throw it at a corner route, it's gonna get picked off. All you're gonna do is shade down and then shade back up. So it's going to be triangle, right stick down, triangle, right stick up. And like I said, it's going to tell the flat, okay, well, I want to watch that flat route or that zig or that drag just a little bit more than a usual cloud flat does. But if there's a corner route still in the field, it's still going to give a look of that cloud flat. So personally, again, those are the two flats that I use the most. And I would definitely recommend just practicing putting them in certain zones. You know what I mean? I don't use the curl flat that much, only on like third and fourth downs. Use the curl flat, and you can't even put these outside guys in curl flat. So as you guys can see, you can put them in soft squats, but you know, left stick to the right. But if you want to put left stick to the right for Y or A, it's going to turn into curl flats. So the outside guys can only be put in soft squats. The inside guys can only be put in curl flats. So you definitely should pay attention to that. Now, the middle of the field. My favorite zone in the middle field for sure is just a 3-rec. It's the only zone in the game that I feel like really plays like slants and off posts and stuff like that. If you guys don't know already, 3-recs can only be in certain plays, and you cannot put 3-recs in the game unless you're going to bluff blitz your slot corner, and I really wouldn't recommend that in the first place. So as you guys can see, Crossfire is going to have that safety in the middle of the field hovering that yellow zone, and it's going to play a 3-rec. Now, the 3-rec, just depending on shading down or shading up, is going to play different things. If you shade down, it's going to play a drag or like a slant, something like that, something kind of quick or short, maybe even that's really it, like a drag or a slant. And if you shade up, it's going to play like post routes, maybe even a streak once every blue moon. So it just depends. I would definitely say get into practice mode, manipulate practice with that 3-rec, and especially putting someone with 90 zone there, someone pretty good like Adrian Amos and Mutt, or maybe like a Landon Collins or something. 3-recs also help with your run fits. As you guys can see, this run fit right here for the 3-rec is telling it that clearly its first steps are in the pass game, but it's going to shoot down immediately. You guys see these deep blues on the other hand, their 3-recs and their run fits, they don't have any run fits because the first thing automatically is them is the back pedal. You know, because that's what you're just taught in football as a deep blue is to backpedal immediately, don't have your eyes in the backfield. So a 3-rec is my favorite zone. Like I said, I really don't like vert hooks that much, but once in a while they do play slants and they do play. I wouldn't rely on them, but like I said, they do play slants and drags once every blue moon. A hook curl is only really good from the safety perspective. Again, I wouldn't really recommend that either as well. I feel like a lot of pros only use the 3-rec and only on certain situations, but it's only in crossfire. So, for example, if I go to cover 3 sky press compared to crossfire, and that's why a lot of people you see run crossfire, even though it's different setups, is because the exact zones on the field. Because this right safety right here is in a hook curl. He is not in a 3-rec, and that's just they're gonna play way different. The 3-rec plays a little bit glitchier than the hook curl. I haven't really used the hook curl this year, but last year the 3-rec was amazing, and I still use it to this day because it's still really good. So I'd recommend if you guys are going to adjust out of anything that's a cover 3, even if you guys don't want to run crossfire, you guys want to send 3 or 4 in the end. You know, I'd come out in the crossfire, and remember you're sending 5 initially, so all you have to do is just use one of the linebackers, and then go ahead and maybe like man this guy up, and bam, you guys are sending the same 3-man coverage that you're sending out of any other, you know, cover 3 in the game. It's just that you have better zones on the field with the 2 cloud flats in the slot, and also the 3-rec as well to watch over. So that's why I do stuff like that. Now going on to, I feel like the most important zones altogether, you know, because I said the 3-rec is the best zone in the game, but the most important zones altogether are the deep zones. You can learn so much about them, so many things that you can stop. There's certain routes that are just, you know, that you can stop. There's certain things you can do. So for example, if someone's running PA crossers, the easiest way to stop PA crosses, in my opinion, you run cover 3 pressed on one side of the field, and if you have a you know, just a normal deep blue or even a deep half on that right cornerback, then what's he gonna do? Well, I'll show you guys actually. What he's gonna do is he's gonna cut towards the inside and kind of watch that PA crosses immediately. And what you want to make sure is you definitely baseline versus a trip set. You don't want to man align. But as you guys can see, if I play coverage like this with deep halves, his priority is kind of like towards the middle of the field. And even if he has you know, an inside third, because usually with deep halves you're not gonna have inside thirds, he's still gonna play the inside priority. So when PA crossers is ran, Darius Slay is kind of moving inside and moving up at the same time. And if someone throws that PA crossers at the right time, you get a guy with like 91 zone there, then he's gonna jump that. I recommend to have the deep halves on most plays, especially when you're playing a pro, because they like to run a lot of cover 3 beaters, and deep halves have always been known to stop that. So when I come out, I baseline immediately, which is going to be triangle or Y, left stick to the right, and then I shade down and shade up, which is going to be triangle, right stick down, triangle, right stick up. Then I'm going to deep half both of my cornerbacks. It just makes the most sense. Just because I don't want to get beat deep, even if you want to Y, Y and then L1, so you can go ahead and protect the sticks to make sure you don't get beat deep just in case, and also so you don't get beat deep by a fake screen wheel. I would do that, but usually I just deep half just because it makes the most sense, and those zones this year on the outside are really bad. Now, if you guys are wondering the difference between a deep half and an inside third, is pretty simple. The deep half first priority is the outside. It's trying to just it's basically that cover 2 deep half, one of the 2 safeties. He's basically, like I said, he's watching that outside, and then if you move him into the inside and you move him in, he's going to be watching like streaks and maybe post routes, and that's really it. So I definitely, like I said, practice. I would get good at quick adjusting on certain zones, feeling comfortable, because like you guys can see that I can quick adjust pretty well now at any point in time. You know, if I want to put a guy, even though I'm making random adjustments, if I want to go back to what I was running before, and it takes a couple of seconds, and I feel like it's just really big. You need that. It definitely helps out, quick adjusting. I already told you guys that in my first video and second video, but especially with knowing what zones work at what times and against what coverages, you know, and what things to stop it, then I definitely would go ahead and do that. So just a quick recap, just in case. If someone's running like a deep crosser around, across the middle of the field, I would recommend like a cover 3 press. Just make sure whatever side that has the trip side, you back off. If someone's running like a flood concept, I would run like a cloud flat, and maybe even mix in a cloud flat with a hard flat, but for the most part run a cloud flat. There's no point in really running hard flats unless it's 4th down and 1, 4th down and 2, unless they really need to get that quick pass off. A purple is way better when it comes to watching deep stuff, 10 to 15 yards instead of the 5 to 10 that a cloud flat watches. The purple's priority is really to watch that deep side instead of watching anything else, so it leaves that flat wide open. 3 racks I feel like in general you need to keep on the field. Inside thirds really don't do a lot, but I would keep those instead of moving it around. And deep half your corners for the most part if you don't want to get beat deep over top. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, man. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Make sure you follow my Twitch and my YouTube and my Twitter as well. And I'm out. Peace.